Okay, this is a brief talk again about the cycle of time and some consequences of that. Once we grasp the significance of time being predestined, we can actually go deeper into some of the thoughts that we normally have, and we really never had much thought about it. For instance, why some people are born into very difficult conditions. It may be in a ghetto, in a shanty town, in a place like that, and then what are their opportunities to become somebody which our society values. And then we can go a little deeper and think, is that something that actually God wants? Because in the religious thought, we can see that the idea of God having some say so in the way we behave, God intervening, is something that is easily thought as being right. However, once we see that there is a principle of cause and effect, that everything that surrounds us is based on that principle, is just cause and effect, and that therefore when a person is born in a particular place, that place is a consequence of whatever deeds that person has performed before, then we can see a reasonable answer to that question. And therefore is when we see the importance of predestination as a fact that we can observe based on the premise that everything is cause and effect. And then we can see the other question that most religious individuals assume, which is that God is always looking at everyone, and God is a punisher, and he punishes people according to his or her own wish. Then we can see that that's not so at all. And the reason for that is because cause and effect in itself is what gives us the outcome of our actions. So our activities will be beneficial or will be suffering for us depending on those actions that we perform. Many times we don't see the consequences of that, and thus we suffer. But there is always a benefit in that, and that is that we learn a lesson. And hopefully through learning that lesson we will not commit the same mistake. So there is always benefit in predestination, and that is something that we have to realize. Another issue that most people will think that is improbable, that it is just something that somebody came up with a lot of imagination, is fortune telling. Whoever had the experience of having a good reading, whether it is using your hands, your pulse, or just maybe some people can do it through sensing something special about some individuals, just by touch. So there are different ways. How is actually that possible? In religious and devotional ideas, we gave that to the devil. It's the work of the devil. And as somebody that is deeply religious shouldn't go into these things because they are beyond the understanding of a normal human being. However, once we understand the cyclical aspect of time, once we see predestination, and we see that the movie of life is once again moving by itself, we can see that whatever somebody sees, whoever has the ability to see something in my future, and that is when we see that that person is a legitimate reader, has that gift, then we can see that the reason why the person can see about my future is because my future was my past at one point in time. So basically that person had the ability to rewind or fast forward, if you would, my movie, and then see what I will be doing. It's very simple. And that is a consequence of understanding, one more time, predestination, to the understanding of cyclical aspect of time, the understanding of eternal return, the understanding of reincarnation. So this is something to really look into, and it will give us a new perspective in life, because then we are not just puppets of destiny anymore once we are aware. And that is the other point that I'm trying to make. In this life, once we know the game of it is a game, once we know the rules of the game, then we have some sort of awareness, and that awareness allows us to propel our life to a different horizon. Without knowing the rules, then we are really puppets of destiny. We can pray all we want, we can do any devotional practices, we can just forget about God and spirituality as well. But those are not really answers. We are just reacting towards what life apparently presents us, and we can call that positive or negative duality. So with all of this, in no way, in no means denying the existence of God. God is an experience, and it's a spiritual experience. And as a matter of fact, God is just there to make us aware who we really are, and we are spiritual beings. Once we have that experience, which starts with understanding, then we have the possibility of connecting with something which is beyond the physical world, which we know about. So this is something to really think about. Therefore, science is out of luck. Any thoughts that try to, in a way, connect with God is totally out of luck. And the reason for that is because as souls, as spiritual entities, we connect through feelings, and that is something that we can really understand once we have developed that ability. Thank you.